I'll bring something on screen here to help us with this one. So, are there any insights you can gain from breaking down the salary cap by position? And then basically, what information could you gain under the surface level of these metrics? So, what I wanted to show here is that this is over the cap. This is a great site for anybody who's out there just wants to see all the information has to do with their team or the league in general. And they break down positional spending for the salary cap by team by position. So you can see your core, you go left to right, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, offensive line, entire offense, and then you go interior defensive line, edge, linebacker, safety, cornerback, entire defense. Okay, and I'm sure they have special teams. So, and they can go by year here. That's got 2013 to 20 projected in 2026. And what you'll find when you go through this is that you go down and find Green Bay here. And let's see if I can highlight it. Yeah. So I highlight it here. And you look at Green Bay, they're kind of right in the middle of the road as far as their spend is $93 million. I'm in 2020, 2023. Their spend on offense is $101,756. Sorry, $101,756,535. And on defense, they're spending $90,672,938. Now, as you can imagine, the Packers, like what can we gather from this? Okay, so $36 million at quarterback position, $11 million at the running back position, $5.5 million, and I'm obviously rounding here at the wide receiver position, 3.8 at the tight end position, 44.5 million at the offensive line position. So you think on offense, okay, of course, Aaron Rodgers, there's a dead cap hit there. That's a ton of salary. Jordan Love's on his rookie contract, so it's just that $36 million, a fraction of that's Jordan Love. We get great. So what's the insights? We do a phenomenal job bang for our buck wise at the running back position with Jones and Dillon. Now, to put it in context, the Cowboys cap hit for 2023 in running backs is $29.8 million. Okay. The Niners, $15 million. The Titans, $19.2 million. The Colts, 9.8. The Chargers, 11.8. So we're spending 11.5. Aaron Jones is on his second contract. AJ is still on his first contract. His contract's cheap. It's going to be up soon. Aaron Jones is probably going to be on the team for one more year, and then maybe they have to make a decision because he's going to be 30 years old. But the projection there is great. The wide receiver room, when you look at the wide receiver room spending $5.5 million, as I'm looking at this chart, that is the least amount spent in the entire National Football League, unless I can scroll down further and find another team. And it looks like it's not even close. Like every other team is expending at least 8 figures. So we're spending 5.5. Panthers are second lowest, I believe, at 13. You got Colts at 14. You start looking at the high side, $51 million for the Cardinals, $42 million for the Raiders, $42 million for the Broncos, $30 million for the Steelers. That's interesting. $37 million for the Dolphins. That's actually probably a pretty good value considering some of the other numbers. 34 for the Seahawks, 33 for the Rams. So as we go through this, I'll just finish up by saying you have $3.8 million for tight ends. That's got to be a low, or it's pretty darn close. I see a couple $5 millions in here. I see 1, 4, 4.8, 4.5. Here's a 3.8 with the Bucks. So yeah, you're right along at the lowest at wide receiver, at tight end. And then offensive line, there's some 19s. Let's see, the Titans are at 19 million. Seahawks are at 19 million. So they have 2 first-round picks playing tackle. That'll change, right? But they've done a good job drafting. What that really tells you is if you think your relative value as far as talent at the wide receiver position is good right now, which I think that everyone agrees that we have potential there, but from a Packers standpoint, you're probably looking to add. And at 3.8, you don't have a tight end you don't have a viable tight end in the locker room right now. What this just shows you quite simply is that for years and years and years, they have undervalued offense because of the quarterback position. The quarterback position, they have spent so much money, and I believe they are second to the Chiefs in cap hit this year. Now, listen, I know that's not an exact science because of the way contracts play out. Chiefs have Patrick Mahomes coming off a Super Bowl, multiple MVP guy, best player in the league, no doubt. Packers had maybe the second or third best player in the league, no Super Bowls in the last 10 years. So they have spent where they had to spend, but they've cut corners everywhere else. And so, when you talk about insights, that's what I gained from this. The offensive line is probably right around average. There's guys that are spending $19 million. There's guys that are spending $60 million with the Falcons because Lindstrom just signed his deal. The Bengals just spent all that money. They're still terrible, but they have $57 million cap hit. $55 million for the Browns. They have an incredible offensive line, very well coached. $60 million for the Texans. They have two tackles that are franchise player tackles. The best pass protecting left tackle in the league, and they have the kid Titus Howard who's going to get a monster salary next year. So, and they have a first round draft pick in Kenyon. They have guys. That's the strength of their team. So when you look at this overall, I think you have to look at what you feel is the relative value of the players on your team. Where are we spending money? Okay, why are we spending money there? Is it making a big enough difference on our roster? Interior defensive line. Here's a great interior defensive lineman for the Packers, $18 million. That's low. That's below average, right? The Ravens are spending 10. Everybody else, we've got 13 from the Bucks, 16 from the Panthers. Everybody else is over 20. Okay. Edge players, $19 million. Rashawn Gary is going to get an incredible contract. But right now, Preston's got a decent contract, but they've done really well getting value there despite, right? Now you can say the thing about interior defensive lineman because Kenny Clark's in the mix, but they're still always looking for that second guy who's going to just do that incredible job. Maybe Devontae Wyatt's going to be that guy. We'll go all the way over to cornerback, and you see cornerback position, $25 million. Jared Alexander is worth every penny that they want to pay him, but only the Dolphins pay more. It looks like at $43 million, and they've got two guys that have been, Pro Bowl, All-Pro guys. I know Byron Jones is gone now, but he's going to be in the cap hit, and obviously Xavier Howard. You see a lot of these other players, other teams, $37 million, 23, 25, 19, 27, 26, 12. There's a lot of money being spent there. So you're going to spend tons of money at certain positions. Usually you're going to draft a quarterback, premium tackle if you think it's left side or right side, cornerback, and edge rusher. Those are the pillars of any good football team. And so when you look at the Green Bay Packers in particular, and you look at their stats, you break down any of these stats, and you just got to go, are you giving your quarterback, particularly now looking at that cap, you're not giving your quarterback the weapons on offense that are going to be required to have what you hope is a breakout year.